Am I audible?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'll try once again. If it works, fine. Otherwise, we'll move on. Okay. We're already running late today. Sometimes technology is a blessing, and sometimes, it is such time-consuming experience. So you guys have been getting my emails, right? With all the presentations and everything?
Yes, we are receiving.
Okay. Today is Friday. There's one more girl, actually, she attends the training in the evening, okay? Shreya Shah. So today she was supposed to join in the morning session. She has not logged in only.
Oh.
Can you see?
Yes.
You
Yes,
can
we
see
can
the
see.
new employees induction checklist.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Fine. So see, in day one, you can do introduction to the team members, and also however you plan according to your department, discussion you have. Okay, so you can make a checklist like that. On the first day, you do the introduction, okay, to the department and to the, what the department does and all that, and you show around the office premise, tour of the building. Okay, you make a checklist like this. You can see the tick mark, no? So whether
Yes.
all this is done, okay, so that you get a perfect, induction or perfect onboarding of the new employee. Okay, so that you don't miss out. So you can add on the, ID badges or documents collected or not, offer letter, appointment letter given or not, email IDs generated or not, system is ready or not. Okay, all that also you can write. See, all the canteen facilities you've shown around or not, whether ID, security, flexi badge and all is given, whether car parking, all those cards are made or not, whether you've shown where the first aid box is. So depending on which company you join and what kind of, induction you plan for, you just make a checklist so that you don't miss out on anything. Okay, so I will share this document also with you so that you can, refer to it later on. Okay, quickly I will show you the offer letter and appointment letter. Okay, so can you see this page? Offer
Not yet.
letter, your company name, street address and all that.
Can't see now.
Maybe it take time. Okay, so the offer letter just reads out the address. Okay, the candidate who's joining, the address, the date, and the name, and etc. And then you address it to the person, dear so and so. the name of the company you give and the details of the position and the department. Okay, you say so and so, like we welcome you to this company, and then you are joining us as maybe an HR manager, and will be joining the support function, and then what are the facilities and what are the benefits that the person will get, and what is the salary, and your date of joining would be this and this. Kindly send us your accepted email or your acceptance on this offer letter. Okay, only that much will be given in an offer letter, right? You can see the folder, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you see this page? Surge HR Solutions. Guys, can you see the appointment letter?
Not
No.
yet.
See only folders.
What can you see on the screen?
No, we can't.
Can you see the PPT?
No.
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 But it's saying the participants can now view your screen.
Internet is lying.
Okay, so have you seen A salary structure, how does it look like?
No.
You've not seen. So you've just seen like, okay, you are joining as something like an HR executive and your salary will be this much per month, right? Only that much you've seen, but you've not seen a breakup.
No.
Are you still able to see or you're not able to see the screen?
No,
Not
we can only
able to
see you.
God, what to do?
What we can do is, no, we can connect one another as a conference call, be it WhatsApp group or normal conference call, and then you can show us the PPT and everything via Google Meet or anywhere that the screen is possible to be seen by all of us.
Okay, you can't. I'll do one thing. I'll just take a screenshot. Rest all I will explain it to you like this. Okay, I will just
Okay.
take a screenshot of the salary structure only. You view it on your phone. Will you be able to view it on your phone? No.
Okay.
Whether this will be possible. Let's see. Did you get Nirmala?
Yeah, they.
Okay, Bhavna, just give me a minute.
I received it.
You got it?
Yes. Yes, we can see.
Okay. So see, CTC that you can see at the top, no?
Yes.
There are in the heading you can see salary components.
Yeah.
Okay, then you can see amount, annual. Okay, and third you can see amount monthly. Okay,
Yeah.
so annual is for the whole year. Okay, it's a direct multiplication of per month figure into 12. Okay, and CTC is the full form of CTC is cost to the company. Cost to the company. Okay, and it is not for the entire employees. It is for each employee. The CTC will be different. For each employee, the CTC will be different. Nirmala, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. So CTC cost to the company will include your net take home salary. So whatever you get in hand, no, after the deductions and everything, whatever salary you get in hand, amount that credits to your account or maybe however they pay you in hand, okay, that is called as net take home salary. Okay, in the offer letter of a person, it will be mentioned CTC. Okay, in big companies with employee strength more than 20, okay, you will have PF and ESIC and all other medical facilities, okay, allowances, everything. So all this club together becomes the CTC, which is cost to the company. So if you are being paid a travel allowance also, the company is paying for that, right? If you're traveling from one place to another, the company has to pay for that. So that becomes a travel allowance. So that also comes under your salary bracket only, which is known as cost to the company totally. Okay, now I will explain to you the breakup. So basic, okay, basic amount, you will have a basic amount, then you will have HRA. HRA is house rental allowance. Okay, house rental allowance. EPF is employee provident fund. Okay, now employee provident fund, this is a compulsory component. Okay, but there is PPF. Okay, that is a voluntary contribution from the employee only. If somebody wants to contribute for PPF, okay, so that is again another kind of provident fund that is by the sole choice of the employee. That is as a saving. Okay, and section 80C, this is again an investment by the employee's choice. Leave travel allowance. Okay, leave travel allowance is again, it differs from salary bands. If a person is in a high salary only, then a leave travel allowance is given. Okay, so that can be claimed by an employee twice a year if they go for a holiday and all that, no, with the vacation. In the sense, if a person is working in Bangalore but is living in, but is actually from Darjeeling or Siliguri, then they will come to and fro, no, from home, right? So the company will bear the tickets charges, travel ticket charges. That is called leave travel allowance. Okay, and other special allowances and other incentives and all that you get, your gratuity, there is professional tax. Okay, so this is all deducted from your cost to the company and then it is given in hand. Okay, so what is given in hand? Basic and HRA only. Okay, rest all are deducted from the cost to the company. Okay, and that goes as your savings like EPF. Okay, the calculation and everything I will tell you later. So I'm just giving you a gist, a rough idea. Okay, so what we see here, like in Siliguri, we don't have big companies, so they will not give you the breakup, and we don't have too large a company with many employees also, right? Only certain brands like you can see Future Group, like retail brands, Shoppers Stop and all that, they will have this breakup. Okay, but other small companies who have employee strength less than 20, they will not give you this breakup because they will not have enrolled in PF and ESIC and all that. Okay, so all that they will give is the net in hand salary. Okay, so I will just move from the first slide. I'm just reading this out to you. You can later on refer to the presentation. Okay, what is CTC? CTC, or cost to the company, is the total amount that a company spends, okay, directly or indirectly on an employee. It refers to the total salary package of the employee. Okay, CTC is inclusive of monthly components such as basic pay, various allowances, reimbursements like medical reimbursement, we say phone reimbursement and all that. Okay, and annual components, gratuity, annual variable pay, annual bonus, etc. So you might have heard people saying that they got a bonus for Diwali, right? They got an annual variable pay on their performance. So once a year, they will get this certain amount of money depending on their performance. They will get certain percentage of money. That is called annual variable pay. Okay, an annual bonus like Diwali bonus and all that. And gratuity. Okay, so gratuity is something, it is again a savings for the employee, and an employee can apply for gratuity only after completion of 5 years. He'll be eligible for gratuity. Okay, so just get familiarized with all these terminologies. We will discuss in detail later how to calculate all that. Okay, so we spoke about PF today, right? Employee Provident Fund. Just make a note of all these things. Okay. First of all, you make a note of CTC. CTC is cost to the company. Okay. And then we discussed about the EPF, which is Employee Provident Fund. Okay. Then we spoke about various allowances. Okay. Reimbursements and gratuity. Okay. Annual variable pay, annual bonus. So just write this down so that it is somewhere there in the corner of your mind. And when we refer to it later, you can relate. Okay. So the components in CTC will be of basic, HRA and all that. So that I have already sent to you on the phone, right? So you can just refer to that. So CTC, that is cost to the company, is never equal. Okay. CTC is never equal to the amount of take home salary of the employee. Okay, so the net take home salary, what you get in hand, and CTC is never equal. Okay, why? Because from CTC there are deductions like employee provident fund and allowance, okay, your variable bonus and all that. Okay, so from CTC all these components are deducted, and that's why net take home salary is different. So write this down. CTC equals to, you can write this formula. Okay. So CTC equals to gross salary plus PF plus gratuity. Okay. So this is CTC, which is cost to the company. Fine. Now I spoke about the basic salary that is also mentioned in the picture that I sent you, right? Basic salary. So what is basic salary? Basic salary is the base income of an individual. Okay, it is the base income of an individual. It is a fixed part of one's component package, compensation package. It is a fixed part. So the basic amount, once it is communicated to you that this is a basic amount, that will never change. Okay, so it is the fixed part and it is not dependent on your performance. So no matter you are performing well, you're not performing well, this does not change. Okay, and your calculation of PF, gratuity, leaves, everything is done on the basic salary only. Later on, I will tell you calculations. So that will be done on the basic salary itself. So the basic salary is a very important component of an employee's salary. Okay. So a basic salary depends on the employee's designation and also the industry in which the employee works. So the basic salary will not be the same for everyone. Okay, it depends on the position. Okay, so the higher the position, the basic salary obviously goes higher. Okay, and what is gross salary? Gross salary is the amount calculated by adding up one's basic salary plus allowances. Okay, so gross salary, you can write it down. That time you wrote the formula for CTC, right? Cost to the company. Now you write down gross salary. What is gross salary? So gross salary equals to basic salary plus HRA plus other allowances. Okay, what is HRA?
Home rental.
House rental allowance.
Yeah, house rental allowance. Okay, so gross salary equals to basic salary plus HRA plus other allowances. Okay, like TA and DA and all that. So daily allowance, have you heard of daily allowance? Daily allowance and travel allowance and all that. Okay, so all that allowance also comes under gross salary. Okay. Now net salary or take home salary. Net take home salary. Okay, net take home salary is obtained after deducting income tax at source. So have you heard of this word TDS? TDS. So you can write that down. TDS is tax deducted at source.
At source.
Source, yeah, SOURCE, source. So this is the tax deducted by the government on your salary. Okay, so net salary is obtained after deducting income tax and other deductions as per the relevant company policy. So from the gross salary, if you deduct the tax and other income tax, and if there are professional tax and all that, then you get the net salary. Okay, so there is a formula for this also. You can make a note. It is net salary equals to basic salary plus HRA plus allowances. Basic salary plus HRA plus allowances minus income tax minus EPF, employers, not employee. Okay, there are in PF also, there is EPF also, there is two things. One is employer provident fund and the other is employee provident fund. Okay, now employee from the CTC employee provident fund is deducted. That means 12% of basic is the PF. Okay, this all calculation I will tell you later. But employer also contributes towards your PF. Okay, so there one is employer provident fund and the other is employee provident fund. Okay, so net salary equals to basic salary plus HRA plus allowance minus income tax minus employer's provident fund. Employer, okay, not employee. Employer's provident fund minus professional tax. Okay, what have you written? Tell me. It must be very, it must be so confusing for you guys right now.
Net
Basic
salary.
salary.
Net salary equals to? Tell me,
Basic
Nirmala.
salary.
Basic salary plus HRA plus allowances minus income tax minus employer provident fund minus professional tax.
Okay. Bhavna, you've also got the same thing?
Yes, same thing.
Okay, fine. So I will explain to you the allowances now. What are allowances? Okay. Okay, an allowance is an amount received by the employee for meeting service requirements. Okay, so any kind of service requirement that is expected out of the employee, if he gets that, if he meets that requirement, then he gets an allowance. Okay, allowances are provided in addition to the basic salary and vary from company to company. So any allowance is not a fixed pay. Like, sorry, basic salary is a fixed pay, right? There is a particular calculation done. So between 40% to 60% of the whole CTC basic salary is calculated that way for all the companies. Okay, but the amount of allowance will vary from company to company. Nobody can force any company to give a certain amount of allowance. Okay, so that is from the discretion of the company how much they want to pay to the employee. Okay, for meeting the job requirements. Okay, and what is HRA? HRA or house rental allowance. It is an amount paid out to the employees by companies for expenses related to rented accommodation. Okay, it is the amount paid out to employees by companies for expenses related to their rented accommodation. That is HRA. Okay, now leave travel allowance. Remember, I also spoke to you about leave travel allowance when I sent you that photo of the salary structure. So what is leave travel allowance? It is the amount provided by the company to cover domestic travel expenses of an employee. Domestic travel, that is within the country. It does not include the expenses for food, accommodation, etc. It is only for the travel. Okay, so only travel tickets. Fine. Now, conveyance allowance, or also known as the travel allowance. This allowance is provided to employees to meet travel expenses from residence to work. So sometimes you are expected to travel related to work from office to certain place, right? And then you can't come back to work, but you'll have to go home from there. Okay, so the allowance which is provided to employees to meet travel expenses from residence to their work location. So generally, if an employee is traveling from their home to office, that allowance is not given. Okay, but if there is work related to their office work and they have to travel within the city, or maybe suppose, for example, from Siliguri to Gangtok, or maybe to Darjeeling, Kalimpong, all those places, then the company gives them the travel allowance or conveyance allowance. Okay, then DA. Have you heard of DA? DA, TA, we say, right? I'm sure a lot of government employees keep talking about this, right? But we have that in as a part of in private companies also, we have that as a part of our salary structure. Okay, so these are all a government formulated structure for salary. So dearness allowance is a living allowance paid to employees to tackle the effects of inflation. Okay, so when there is rise in price of commodities, that is called inflation, right? So in order to tackle the effects of inflation, dearness allowance is given to the employees. It is applicable to government employees, public sector employees, and pensioners only. So if there are any pensioners or government employees, public sector employees, then dearness allowance is given. Okay. And other allowances are special allowance. So if any other allowance wants to be given to the employees, then it is clubbed under the category of special allowance. So it could be for anything, like you're called to work on a Sunday or something like that, and the company is paying for your food. Okay, or any kind of thing like for gift vouchers and everything. So that all can be clubbed under special allowance or medical allowance. Okay, the company is paying for your medical bills. So all this depends on the kind of band or salary bracket you fall under. Okay, so reimbursements, have you heard of the word reimbursement?
Yes.
Yeah. So reimbursement, can you tell me, Bhavna, what do you understand by this word reimbursement?
It means when we have to pay from our pocket for the company, then it will be given to us given to us from the company later on. So that is referred to as reimbursement.
Right. So whenever you have to spend from your pocket and you have to give the bills, but right? So you have to produce bills and proof that you have spent so much from your own pocket, and the company pays to you later. That is called a reimbursement. Okay. Still, I will read out the definition to you. Occasionally, employees are entitled to several reimbursements like medical treatments, phone bills, newspaper bills, etc. The amount is not received in the salary, but on submission of the bills, reimbursement is given. Okay. Generally, there is an upper limit for every category of reimbursement. Okay. So company will not pay you how much ever you are paying from your pocket. There will be a limit set. So if you are spending only up to maybe 2,500 in a month, only till 2,500 they'll give. Like phone bills also, a lot of our profiles involve using phones, like, right? Mobile phones and all. So the company will give you only till certain amount. Suppose your phone bill is coming to 4,000. the company will not pay you 4,000. They will pay you only how much ever your entitlement is, maybe 500 or 1,000 bucks. Okay, so that is the concept about reimbursement. Okay, now employer provident fund, EPF or provident fund. So employer and employee. Okay, I'll explain to you about this. So provident fund is an investment. Okay, try to listen carefully. Provident fund is an investment both by the employer and the employee each month. Okay, so it is contribution from employer and employee every single month. Okay, the lump sum amount of which acts as an employee's retirement benefit scheme. So once the employee leaves the organization and is unemployed for more than 3 months, then he can withdraw his provident fund amount. Okay, so this amount is a saving for the employee. Okay, and the lump sum amount acts as an employee's retirement benefit scheme. So after he leaves the company, they will get this, but you will have to apply to the government. Yeah.
I have an important call. Can I check it?
Yeah. Take it. Bhavna, is it, are you being able to understand? Are you finding it too complicated?
No, the training is wonderful. You're making everything sound easy and we are understanding nicely. This
You're
will, this is pushing us to work as an HR like you confidently. The training is very good. It's very interesting.
Okay, that's nice. So all this, like, as I told you before, also you'll not find all this in the books, even if you do MBA, no. So I have kind of, made this training program only with the idea, like, when employees join the companies, they are like totally lost. No books teach you all this. You're left in the swimming pool without learning how to swim. It's like that. So even if you're familiar with all these concepts, I'm sure it'll be very easy. You can come home and at least refer back to the material, right? Even if you can't remember everything.
Because everything you're giving us and teaching us is out of your experience and what you did during your MBA. It is good for us.
Right. Okay. Nirmala, are you back?
Yeah, dear.
Okay, but I can't see you. Your video is off.
Now can you see me?
Yeah. Okay. So we were discussing on the provident fund. Okay. So there are two types, which I said, employer and employee. So you need contribution from both sides. Okay. So I will further explain about the contribution. So provident fund contribution is mandatorily either of the following. So PF is never choice. Okay, it is a mandatory contribution from the employee and the employer. So you don't have a choice. You can't say, I want my net home salary to be more, that's why I don't want to contribute for my PF. You can't say that. Okay, no employee can say that, right? So case one, basic salary. Whose basic salary? So I explained to you about the basic salary, right? The first component of your salary structure is called the basic salary. Okay. So if anybody's basic salary is less than 15,000 per month, okay, then you will have to contribute 12% of the basic salary. Are you getting my point? If anybody's basic salary amount, the first component, okay, first component in the salary structure, if that is 15,000 or lesser than that, okay, then employee provident fund will be 12% of that particular basic salary. Okay, but if in case the basic salary is more than 15,000 per month,